Kelly Myers. And where I did my internship was at Rock Middle School in Rush, Henrietta. How did I find my mentor? My mentor is Brenda Brown. She is an employee at Monroe No. 1 BOCES. And she's an interpreter for an 8th grade student at Rock Middle School. And the student is profoundly deaf, and he's a native ASL user. So how did I find my mentor? This was a long process, and it required a lot of patience. It also requires a lot of networking. I knew I wanted to do my internship in an educational setting, so I asked different people, and this included St. Mary's School for the Deaf, a school in North Carolina. My cousin works there, and she knew some deaf students, so I thought I could try that, and Monroe No. 1 BOCES. So for BOCES, I contacted interpreters that were on staff, and I asked if they would be willing to have a student interpreter. And most of them directed me to Sherry Lentolucci, who is in charge of the Deaf and Hard of Hearing program for Monroe BOCES. So I contacted her, and this was during the summertime, so she told me that I should wait. Because most interpreters didn't know their students for that time. So I waited until fall, and she told me to send me a resume, and she would give it to the interpreters on staff. Brenda was the only one who replied back, but luckily we were both a good match. I then contacted Brenda, and we set up a time to meet. So I observed her at Rock Middle School, and I really enjoyed the experience, so I said yes. And that's my mentor on the right, obviously, not on the left. How many hours did I complete? 8 hours, of course, interpreting hours, so I completed 58.75 hours. And this included interpreting for Syracuse and Rochester community events, other schools in different districts, Red Wings games, Sunday school, and the Syracuse stage. For 8 hours, I completed 281.75 hours, and this includes, of course, planning beforehand, debriefing afterwards, any workshops attended, and videos I made. For C hours, I completed 79.50. That's observational hours. So a total of 420 hours. Lessons I learned, low points and tough weeks. The first one was the first time interpreting for the student. It was career day, so different professionals came into the school and gave a lecture, like describe about their profession and careers. And I had to interpret one, and it was for a civil engineer, which I knew nothing about. So I felt like it was over my head, and I had no idea of the content and how to interpret it. And I can also see the deaf student getting really frustrated with me. So I felt a little bit discouraged. But my mentor was a big help, and she sympathized with me and told me that it was a difficult topic and gave me some proper feedback of how I could improve. And that the deaf student would have known that it was a tough to interpret, so not to be discouraged. The second one was getting my A hours. Even though this is surprising, it was hard for me because my interpreter didn't feel that it was appropriate for me to interpret for the student I was with. But it was actually beneficial for me because it allowed me to network with the other community and see other different settings and work with other students and see the differences between each student. The third one is interpreting the play Other Desert Cities. So I interpreted at the Syracuse stage. I was really nervous because I get nervous for stage interpreting. And And I was sick, so that didn't help a lot either. At one point, I did end up coughing during the play, so I was really nervous. I was trying to keep it under control, but that was really hard to do. And I thought I was only going to interpret the father's role, but I ended up interpreting the son's role as well. So how I dealt with that, I followed the lead from my mentor and lead interpreter, and I did my best to continue to work. So my best memories from this experience, working with my mentor, other interpreters, teachers, staff, and deaf consumers. They were all very helpful for me, gave me positive feedback. Even the staff, the teachers, and the note taker, and the relief interpreter gave me great advice. Matt Hamill, so in Rush Henrietta there's 2 middle schools. There's Rock Middle School and Berger, and the ASL teacher at Berger Middle School set up a time where Matt Hamill could come and present to all the students. And it was really exciting because the student I was working with, he was in the movie The Hammer, so he knew Matt Hamill, and he was really excited to see him. And it was cute because he was very patiently waiting for him to arrive. And he said, oh, he knows me, he'll remember who I am. So it was just nice to see him happy and excited. Positive feedback and words of encouragement. I got a lot of positive feedback for interpreting, which was nice, so kept me going. And working with the students, so not only working with but other students in different districts and the students in the school too. And these are some pictures of the schools I worked with. I worked in Pittsford Elementary School, at Park Road School, with an elementary school student in 3rd grade. Rush Henrietta, the senior high school with a senior, and Tilton School in the middle school. And then this is a picture of the play that I interpreted. So those are some of the characters on stage, and that's the stage setup. The interpreters interpreted below. So and then that's me at a Red Wings game. I like the picture. My advice for next year's students, if you haven't started looking for an internship, I would start now. The more contacts you make, the better opportunities that you will have. And make sure that the internship is a good fit for you. And I would also observe the placement to see if you would like to do it there. Be confident, stay positive, work hard, and have fun.
Growth improved, good.